Kirby Smart and the Dogs have a chance to win over their biggest target in the 2025 class this weekend as they host another giant list of official visitors. But their biggest target, the number one guy on their board, is five-star offensive tackle David Sanders Jr. out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's the number 2 prospect in the country, but I was told last year that Georgia thinks he is the best player across the country for the 2025 class. They've been involved in his recruitment from the very beginning. They've been a top school for him, and now they have a chance to really win him over and possibly gain a comfortable lead in his recruitment. He took an official visit to Clemson last weekend. He's been to Tennessee numerous times. He's been to Ohio State several times. I'm going to break all that down and more. I'm going to talk about how many top targets on offense will be in town this weekend for an official visit. I'm going to make another video talking about the defensive targets because that's an even bigger list. I mean, there are several five-star defenders who are going to be in town this weekend, but David Sanders Jr. is the big target. So let's break it down right now. I'm going to talk about him and then talk about some other guys. But again, number 2 prospect in the country. He's lean. He's athletic, 6'6", 280. You just don't find guys that move like him. He looks like just a really big tight end, but he's fluid. He's not like some of the other guys that they signed in last year's class where they're 330, 340, 350, and in some cases, you know, closer to 400 pounds. This is a guy who can add more weight and muscle when he gets to Athens. If he goes to Athens, I still think Georgia's in a really good spot. But he's told me in the past, you know, I'm looking for a place that can develop me. And he knows that Stacy Searles and the Georgia program in general pumps out offensive tackles. That's what he plays. He's going to play offensive tackle, but I mean, you just look down the list of guys that have gone into the NFL out of Kirby Smart's program: Isaiah Wynn, Andrew Thomas, Isaiah Wilson, Broderick Jones, Amarius Mims. I mean, Georgia's offensive tackle you right now, and David Sanders knows that. He knows that he's wanted in Athens, and Georgia checks all the boxes for him. I've heard that from multiple sources. So yes, Tennessee's in the mix, Ohio State, Clemson. He is a must-have for Tennessee and Clemson. If they want to take that next step as a program and possibly get to where Georgia is, they need an elite offensive tackle like him. Georgia doesn't need him, but they want him badly. They've had guys like him in the past, and those guys have helped lead them to championships. David Sanders is truly an elite prospect with length. He's an outstanding pass protector. He's a mauler in the run game. He is a big, big deal, and he's going to be in town for a massive official visit to Georgia this weekend. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on. I can easily see him signing with Georgia when the time comes. But this is a big, big visit, no doubt about it. Now, I want to talk about this next guy, too, who is another major Georgia target from the state of Georgia, who I think could end up being a 5-star prospect and a guy who I think Georgia is trending for. But first, collegebronze.com. Listen, Father's Day is in 2 Sundays. Not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. Get your Bulldog statue today. Get it in time for Father's Day. Don't miss out on the discount, okay? Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. Don't forget the promo code. This is the best looking Bulldog statue on the market. I've told y'all over and over. You can get it in the description below in this video. All the information is there. You can read all the 5-star reviews, and that's where you can order yours today with the promo code DOGPOST. Don't forget that DAWGPOST. Looks great by the pool, front door, back door. You know, if your grandfather's a Georgia fan, your dad, your son, whoever, this is the gift. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Your Father's Day gift is right here, and you can order in the description below. Don't forget the promo code. Okay, now the guy I'm talking about is C.J. Wiley. 4-star, could be a 5-star wide receiver out of Milton High School. If you're familiar with this channel, if you're familiar with my work, you know how high I am on this young man, especially after he ran a 10.6 in the 100 meter at 6'4", 195 pounds. This guy checks all the boxes. He's going to fly up the rankings when the next update comes out from all the outlets, but he's got size, he's got speed, he's got production. He caught 68 passes last year for 1,473 yards. When he makes a catch, it's down the field. I mean, he's averaging, I think that's over 20 yards a catch. My Kennesaw State math is not perfect, but it's a yards per catch type of deal. He's one of the best out there. 14 touchdowns in 15 games, helped lead Milton to a 7A title last year, but he's an effective route runner. He can beat defenders deep. He's a vertical threat. He's a screen threat. He can get open. He's a crafty receiver with size and speed. There's just not a lot of weaknesses to his game. I don't know what his weakness is. I really don't. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the country. His dad played at LSU, and he will be in town this weekend for a big official visit because I think Georgia has been trending in the right direction for him. He was in Los Angeles this past weekend for a big official visit to Southern Cal. And I think he's got official visits lined up to LSU and Florida State as well. Auburn wants him. And again, this is a guy that those programs need. LSU, we know what they do with receivers. I can see him ending up there, especially with the family connections. But this is a guy that Florida State really needs to have. This is a guy that Auburn needs to have if those programs want to take the next step. But if he goes to Athens, this is a guy who could play early on. A lot of them receivers on the roster right now will probably leave after this year. Dom Lovett, I think Colby Young is a 1 year and out guy. Dylan Bell. I mean, there's a lot of receivers who are on their way out after this year. So I do believe that whoever Georgia signs in this recruiting class has a chance to see the field as a freshman. You don't see that a ton nowadays. Dylan Bell did a couple of years ago, but they stack up talent in a big way at wide receiver. And next year, they land guys like CJ Wiley and this next guy that I'm going to talk about, Travis Smith Jr., that I already have Thomas Blackshear on the commit list. These are guys that I could see contributing early next fall because they're that good, right? And CJ Wiley is the real deal. If you live in the Milton area, North Fulton, make sure you go watch this kid play. He is worth it. Outstanding player, and I think Georgia is probably the team to beat right now behind the scenes. And with a big visit this weekend, I think Georgia could take the lead comfortably in his recruitment. So definitely got to keep an eye on another wide receiver, Derek Meadows out of Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman High School, the number 7 wide receiver prospect, number 37 overall prospect in the country, 6'5", 185. So again, he's lean, he's athletic, a jump ball machine. Did not catch a lot of passes last year, according to Max Preps, if I say that correctly, because Bishop Gorman just crushed teams left and right. They didn't really need to throw the ball. He only caught 15 passes last year when I looked it up, but he gained 391 yards and scored 8 touchdowns. Caught 15 passes, scored 8 touchdowns. He's a big play machine. He can stretch the field. He's tough to tackle. This is another guy that checks a lot of boxes. There's a reason he's a top 40 prospect in the country in a class loaded with wide receivers. Derek Meadows is one of the best, especially on the west part of the country. So I think Notre Dame's the team to beat. Alabama, LSU, a lot of teams involved. But if Georgia decides to make him a priority and rolls out the red carpet for him this weekend, I can see them, gaining some ground in his recruitment. So he's a big play wide receiver, along with CJ Wiley, to know about, who will be in town this weekend for a big official visit. Another in-state guy to know, who I believe is taking an official visit this weekend. I haven't heard it from him yet. I did hear from him in the past. So I'm going to put him in this story, or in this video. You can read the story on Dog Post, but Todd Robinson is a 3-star out of Valdosta High School in South Georgia, plays quarterback there, but he's a running back in the next level, rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, 5 touchdowns, averaged over 8 yards a carry. He's explosive. He's a dynamic runner with the ball in his hands, eludes defenders, has a great feel for the game. He's got natural vision, follows his blocks, and can outrun defenders. So he is a speedy back to know. His recruitment took off this past spring. Georgia offered, Alabama offered. He was in Tuscaloosa last weekend. And according to my notes, he will be in town this weekend for an official visit. So he is a running back to know. They already have Bo Walker on the commit list. Todd Robinson, he may be a 3-star prospect, but he's got 4, possibly 5-star speed, okay? I'm telling you that right now. So that's a speedy in-state running back to keep an eye on. If he has the green light to commit, would not surprise me at all to see Georgia land this guy. Now, there's another out-of-state 4-star offensive lineman going to be in town for an official visit, but I want you to read that over on Dog Post, okay? I can only give y'all so much free insider scoop here, but I'm reading the story that I have written over on the website with even more details, even more insider scoop. It's a free story, so head on over to Dog Post, read the full list of offensive visitors. Again, I'm going to have a video talking about defensive targets who are going to be in town as well this weekend. That video will probably come out tomorrow along with another story. But David Sanders Jr., CJ Wiley, Derek Meadows, Todd Robinson, and more will be in town this weekend. Those are just offensive targets. So make sure you're over on Dog Post to read all the details for free on the website. Make sure you're doing that and get your Bulldog today. Again, Father's Day is right around the corner. Get it now so you get it in time for Father's Day. The best looking Georgia statue on the market, and you can order it today with a discount, promo code DOGPOST. All the information is in the description below in this video. Take advantage of this opportunity. Do it today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the website.